Everybody, my name is Dave. Welcome aboard. I teach people how to play the saxophone. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, but you see something today that you really like, I hope that you hit the subscribe button and maybe give me a thumbs up too, all right? Inside today, because once again, it's raining. Dave's garage floods out in the rain here in Southern California. That's the thing that we're not really prepared for here. We're prepared for dry, but not so much rain. And we've been getting a lot of rain the last couple of weeks. So it's cold and wet. And so I thought, well, what the heck? We can work in the home studio. This, by the way, is where we would do a lesson if you were to show up, say, in La Mesa, where I live, and want to do a lesson. We can also do them on Zoom as well. DaveGoodSax@gmail.com. So you want to learn how to play blues saxophone or rock saxophone or rhythm and blues saxophone or funk saxophone. Hey, you've come to the right place. That's where I live. I'm your basic rhythm and blues, rock, funk saxophone player. My heart lives in the 50s. The saxophone players that came out of Texas, that big Texas sound in the 50s, defined by just being just a little bit behind the beat with kind of an edgier sound, maybe even a little bit of a growly sound. A lot of wonderful, wonderful sounds came out of Texas in the 50s, and I just find that my heart is in that particular sound. So that's what I study, and that's what I like to play. And in order for you to go there are 4 basic scales, not that many, but you would behoove you to know them inside and outside in all 12 keys, up and down, sideways, backwards, forwards, and in the inversions. And I'll explain what inversions are at the end of this session, okay? We're going to work in concert E flat today. And this is going to be a play-along session. I'm working in the B flat tenor saxophone today, and I'm going to play an example of each of these scales, and I'm going to leave you space to play along as well, okay? E flat concert puts tenor sax and B flat instruments in the key of F, and E flat concert puts alto sax or E flat instruments in the key of C, all right? So we have the major pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic scale, the first cousin of the minor pentatonic scale, which is called the blues scale, right? And the dominant 7 scales, okay? Now, these are not amazingly difficult. They're actually relatively simple. Pentatonic scales are 5-note scales, right? We've taken 5 notes out of the 8 original notes, condensed it, and made a 5-note scale. And you'll find that as you get to know these scales, you'll start to hear that form in a lot of the solos that you're going to be studying as you get to learn blues, rock, soul, R&B, and funk saxophone, okay? The major pentatonic form is very simple. It starts on the root, the 1. We use the 2, the 3, skip the 4, and play the 5 and the 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. In the F major, it works out to F, G, A, C, and D. And I'll write these out in the notes below, okay? F, G, A, C, and D for you tenor sax players. C, D, E, G, and A for you alto sax players. Here we go. All together now. Ready? Well, I'll play first and then you follow. Let me do it one more time. All right, it's your turn now. Let me hear you do it. Awesome. Do it again. F, G, A, C, D for B flat, C, D, E, G, A for E flat. Here you go. It's a great sound, isn't it? All right. Now, the minor form is a little bit different, a little bit trickier, okay? But it's still 5 notes. Once again, we start on the root. We go to the flat 3rd, skip the 2nd, go right to the flat 3rd, and then 4, 5, and flat 7. All right, so in tenor sax language, that's going to be F, A flat, B flat, C, and an E flat, okay? Alto saxes, you're going to play a C, an E flat, an F, a G, and a B flat. Here we go. Let me play it for you. One more time, okay? All right, the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, and the flat 7. All right, your turn. Let me hear you do it. Well, I can't hear you, but I'm going to imagine you're playing it. Go. 1, 2, ready, and play. It's got an awesome sound, doesn't it? One more time. 2, solid gold. Okay. Now, the next scale that's closely related to the minor pentatonic is called a blues scale because we add one note between the 4 and the 5. Remember now, the minor pentatonic form is the 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. We're going to stick a note between the 4 and the 5. We're going to stay, and you can either call it a raised 4 or a flat 5. It's basically the same note. So in other words, and that's the blues note. That's the slippery, oily kind of blues note. Sounds really cool, and you'll know it, I'm sure, as soon as you hear it. Let me play the B flat version for you. Then I'll spell the notes out. All right. For B flat instruments, we start on the F, A flat, B flat, stick a B in there, C natural, and an E flat. It's the final note. All right, one more time. F, A flat, B flat, B is the blues note, C, and an E flat. All right, you got it? B is a C flat, or B flat, of course, raised a half step is B. For the alto sax buddies among us, you're going to play a C, an E flat, an F, a G flat. Oh, how's that played? Like an F sharp, isn't it? A G and a B flat. C, E flat, F, G flat, G, and a B flat. Okay? All right. Perfect. Let me hear you do it. All right, let's go. 6-note scale. There's a word for that. I don't remember it, but it's a 6-note scale, no longer a 5-note scale. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here you go. Ba, 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 ba. Good. One more time. Ba, da, 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 da. Practice these real slow. There's no hurry, right? You can use your metronome if you want. The most important thing is just get to be comfortable with the form. Comfortable with the form, all right? The form is just those notes in that order. We're gonna mix them up and play inversions, meaning that we're gonna start on the different scale degrees, and I'll show you how that's done as soon as I explain to you the dominant 7s. All right, this is really cool. And once again, so much of American music, blues, rock, country probably, soul, R&B, funk are based on dominant 7 chords, all right? And that it simply looks like the letter name of the chord followed by a 7. There's nothing in between the letter and the number. It's just like, say, an F7 in this case and a C7 in this case. And the 7 is kind of a contract. It tells us to lower the 7th note by a half step. So instead of playing F, A, C, E, which are the notes of the F major, we're going to play an F7, which would be an F, A, C, E flat. I've arpeggiated this. It's much better to play the arpeggiated form than to use the whole scale. The whole scale is too much information for beginning soloists at this point. Okay, so here we go. One more time. B flat instruments, F, A, C, E flat. All right, and our E flat instruments are playing a C dominant 7, C, E, G, B flat. Let's hear from you now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Ba. All right, good. Now, once again, all 12 keys. You'll probably use 4 of them in your lifetime as a blues player, rock player, whatever. But you just know all 12. It's really good to know the whole alphabet, not just parts of it, okay? Now, in inversion, let's go back to our major, our E flat concert majors, tenors, that's F, your F pentatonic, F major pentatonic, and alto saxes, that's your C major pentatonic, all right? Let's invert those. All right, in the first inversion, they are F, G, A, C, D. The second inversion is going to be G, A, C, D, F. Third inversion, A, C, D, F, G. Fourth inversion, C, D, F, G, A. And the fifth inversion is D, F, G, A, C, right? It's that easy. We just start on the different scale degrees. Here we go. Here's the original form. Da. I used to be able to talk and chew gum at the same time. First inversion. Second. Third. Fifth. Now, even though we've changed the order of where we're starting, where we're launching, it's still an F major pentatonic, no matter what you do. Still a C major pentatonic, whatever it is, whichever key you're in, okay? Doesn't change anything that we started on a different note. It is still that pentatonic scale, all right? It's still that tonality, still that sound. It's just starting on a different place, and it gives you, kind of a different way to get into a solo, or you just goof around a little bit. You can scramble the notes any way that you want. It's still that scale. All right? Understand? You have any questions? You want to dive a little bit deeper into the subject? Hey, let's take a lesson. We can do it on Zoom. We can do it in person. DaveGoodSax@gmail.com. DaveGoodSax@gmail.com. Or leave a comment in the comments below. I really hope this helps all those of you who are, not necessarily jazz heads, and you want to learn the other forms of saxophone. By the way, these forms, these scale forms, do end up in the other forms as well. You'll find these in jazz. Excuse me. I'm trying to block a sneeze. Cold weather, does it make you sneeze too? Makes me sneeze. Anyway, these forms do show up. Dominant forms, major, minor, pentatonics, blues scales, all those things show up in the other forms. Learning how to use them is another lesson entirely. Today, I wanted to introduce these forms to you, these four important forms that you'll need for your progression as a blues shouter, or a rock and roll sax player, rhythm and blues, funk, those forms of music. I wanted to introduce those to you and to get you cracking on them, get you working on them, all right? And memorize them, learn them, do them by ear, okay? Look in the notes. I'll spell these notes out for you in the comments below. All right. Hey, thanks so much for being here, and stay dry, stay warm, stay safe, and just play that saxophone as often as you humanly can, okay? All right, take care.